Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video here at the YouTube channel. My name is Judge, aka the Homie Fletcher, owner of the TrendFX Discord community group, where I send my personal trades to the free and VIP group where we eat in profits, right? And just to kick things off, this is my first time doing something like this. I want to just talk a little bit about, trading, right? Especially trading for beginners and consistency in trading because it's come to my attention that a lot of times as new beginners in trading or even more experienced in trading, we do tend to over overshort what it means to be consistent, right? We do tend to kind of downplay what it means to be consistent and how consistency actually makes us or separates us from being good and bad traders, right? And yeah, just want to talk about it. If I go back looking at my life when I now started trading, I think we all been in a position where we thought that, okay, we first saw trading probably from on social media. We saw the flexes with the Lambos, the big profits and stuff like that. And we really got caught up and wrapped up in the idea that okay, we could start doing this and potentially be in positions where we're making a lot of money basically every day, every week, every month, and just being able to live our best lives without understanding what it is, what it takes to become a trader, right? Which is discipline, consistency, and overall just a general sense or joy for trading, right? I don't think anybody can really be trading if you don't have a love for trading itself, right? The same way that, okay, when you're looking for a job, right, or a career, you choose a path that you have a passion for. You don't just go into a job because you're you're thinking about the amount of money you're able to make from it, right? You want to spend time doing something that you're passionate about. And I will say the same thing goes for trading. No matter what it is, as a business or career, when we do choose things to do or spend our time on, we do it because we have a love or sense of joy for it, right? And um, I think that goes in particularly for trading, right? Because a lot of time has to be dedicated into understanding the concept of trading when we're talking about like technical analysis. Because as you know, there's a bunch of different strategies dealing with technical analysis, right? There's using EMAs, using indicators, just naked Forex trading, right? Just looking at the charts, chart patterns, candle patterns, sorry. And all these other different tools that we could use in order to understand price movement on the chart. And then there's the fundamental aspect, which I think is playing a larger role in how we trade of recently since, COVID in 2019 to now where we have the Russia-Ukraine situation. We do have price action still being, something that is well enough to say that we need to watch price action in order to determine or build a bias, right? Knowing market direction and such. But a lot of these moves, a lot of things been happening on the fundamental side. And this is another aspect of trading that I think a lot of people fail to, understand as well. They neglect the fundamental side of trading. Right. I think is when we do trade, we're dealing with economies on a whole. So having some knowledge on the fundamental themes playing behind certain moves is actually very beneficial for your trading as well. And this is where it comes in that you need to be consistent and you need to have a love and a passion for it, right? So I think anybody that's in the position where they're just looking to make money quickly and they're not actually looking to understand what it is what it means to trade and what it is that it takes for you to become a successful trader, then I think you're really putting yourself in a position for failure, right? Especially if you don't have a love for it. Let's say, okay, it doesn't matter that you don't have a love for it, but having passion for it, all right? And love and passion, two different things, right? being able to dedicate time towards learning the craft of how to trade, right? And trading has a lot of ups and downs, right? Because we're dealing with actual money, we're dealing with losses, potential risks, and all of those things that play with your psychology. And if you're not a person that's has a mental fortitude against that, then it could be something that's detrimental to your mental health, right? Because you need to be comfortable with the amount of risk that you're taking for a trade. You need to be able to withstand the psychological effect that there is behind losing money in the markets, and being disciplined and rooted in whatever strategy that you do pick for yourself instead of trying to deviate from it. A lot of people, new beginner traders, they just believe in buying the highs, buying the lows and selling the highs, right? And this is like one of the most simplistic strategies, quote unquote strategies, that you'll find online, on YouTube. It's really probably might be the first video that pops up for you when you search up profitable forex strategies. They'll show you buy the lows, sell the highs, look at RSI to see the relative strength. If it's low, you buy. If it's high, you sell, right? Low like at 20, or if it's high at 70 or 80, you buy and you sell, right? And that is sort of misinformation, right? Because even though you could have a simplistic forex trading strategy, it's also not so simple, right? If that makes sense. So it takes time to develop a profitable strategy. Sometimes it might take months, sometimes it might take years. A lot of traders don't see any profit until maybe 1 to 2 years after they do start their trading journey, right? You start at, being in drawdown, losing money in the markets. Then you reach to the break-even stage where you're starting to get a sense or a general idea of what it is that you're doing and building your strategy. And then maybe on the ending of your first year or maybe a second year, you're now being able to be consistently profitable. You get yourself out of the mindset that this is a get rich quick scheme, right? And you understand that trading is something that's very profitable and lucrative, but at the same time, it's not an easy task as it would have been made out to seem, right? So it takes time in order to become a successful trader. Sometimes you might be able to actually, you know, curb this learning process by getting a reputable mentor, someone who's been, through that process, so they're now able to tell you, okay, this is what I do, this is how I trade, this is how I see the market. And maybe that might help boost or progress your experience in trading. But at the same time, there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of scammers, so you need to be careful about who you choose as a mentor when you are looking to actually, understand the trading ecosystem, how it is to do it, and all of that, right? And the key to becoming a successful trader is just consistency, 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 consistency. And this goes for any new beginner trader. You could take the world of signals. You could do just buying the lows, selling the highs, use a bunch of different strategies, but you just need to be consistent with what you're doing, right? And the theme basically is consistency breeds profitability, right? So keep that in your mind. Consistency builds profitability, right? You need to be consistent in anything you're doing, right? Same thing as being consistent with your daily routines, right? You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you eat breakfast, get ready to go to work. You have a consistent pattern in your daily life. That same consistency needs to be applied to your trading life as well, right? Deviating from it means death for your account, basically, right? I'm gonna say that again. Deviating from your consistent strategy, plan, whatever it is that you set aside for yourself when it comes to your trading, deviating from it, right, means death for your account and probably your trading career, because you're going to get discouraged when you're switching from strategy to strategy, this one may not be working out, this one may not be working out, and then you become, you set yourself in a mindset that, okay, trading is just a scam, it's not profitable, you don't know what those other people's doing, but it's just not for you. And the thing is, yes, sometimes that might be true, but in actuality, what it is that's preventing you from being profitable is your inconsistency, right? Not every trading strategy works perfectly. Not every trading strategy has 100% win rate. But if you do see that, okay, your strategy, whatever it is that you're using, at least 6 out of 10 times, maybe, 5 out of the 10, right? If you have a good risk to reward ratio, maybe 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 times, you actually are profitable. So as you continue with that strategy, whatever it is that you have for yourself, over a period of time, you can see that you would be able to start compounding profits. Just because the strategy doesn't work out for, maybe this week, let's say it worked for you the first week, the second week, but the third week it didn't, and maybe the fourth week you end up at break even. Now you're like, damn, why wasn't I able to make a lot of profits from this and this? You look back at the charts and you see in hindsight, oh, you should have done this, you should have did that, you should have did that, right? And then you end up in the mental mindset that, okay, I'm going to switch up the strategy. I'm going to try to buy here, enter here, sell from this high, right? And another thing that sometimes affects your psychology as well is seeing when other people are in profit and you're not. So you start deviating from your plan, your strategy for yourself. And that's the thing. That's the thing about trading, right? Everybody has a different strategy. Some might work better than others. Who knows, right? But you need to stop worry about others and worry about yourself, right? They're making money for them. They're not making money for you. They're not worried about you. But you're worrying about them because why? You see that they are making more profits than you. You envy them, you jealous them. Then you approach the market with that in your mind. And the market is going to quickly humble you because now you're going to look for the most amount of returns you could get possibly from the market. Sometimes you just say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna jump in with a standard 10 lots, right? And whatever happens, happens. Price is gonna go up. You see it's an uptrend, you're like, yeah, price is gonna go up. You buy from the highest support that you're seeing, and you expected it to go up, but then boom, price just wicks down, stops you out. Your account just says -$5, right? So that's the thing. We can't allow ourselves to become greedy in the markets, especially when we see other people being profitable or successful and we're worried about them and not ourselves, or being consistent with what we're doing, right? You need to focus on you, drown all the noise outside, drown out all the noise outside, right? You need to focus on you, on what you are doing, right? You need to focus on your consistency, your profitability. Don't worry about other people, right? You need to be able to separate yourself from the noise that you will be seeing, especially if you're in something like a Discord community or a Telegram, and people just sharing profit after profit, and you're just, damn, I had a drawdown, I had a bad trading week, and everyone else trading week was so good. Next week, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna be risking higher. I'm gonna be looking for 10 pip gains, right? 10 pips is easy to achieve. So that's what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna put a high lot size and look for 10 pips, right? And that's it, right? You're gonna use a standard 10 lot size, right? Or maybe let's just say a standard 1 lot size, and that means that would be $10 per pip, right? You're aiming for 10 pips. That's $100. But let's say, okay, you enter, price starts going against you. As soon as it wakes up, you're unable to get out, right? Because sometimes that does happen, and price starts wicking down. What are you gonna do then? You're gonna end up blowing your account. Why? Because you got greedy. You wasn't focusing on yourself. You were focusing on others. You were allowing the noise to distract you from actually staying consistent with your trading plan. And that's the thing, right? Again, consistency breeds profitability. No matter in what you're doing in life, you need to be consistent with it in order to see any actual gain or any actual meaning behind it to materialize, right? You need to be able to stay consistent in what you're doing, right? And that would also help with disciplining your psychology. And as you know, in trading, both psychology and consistency, they mean a lot, right? In trading, psychology is one of the big parts in trading as well, right? Where you are mentally affects how you see the chart as well. So again, that is something that you need to be aware of as a trader. What's your mental state of mind? And stick with a consistent plan set aside for yourself. And as a beginner trader, I could testify to this to myself as well. I could testify to this. I wasn't consistent with my trading plan at all. I would try a bunch of different things, looking to see what suits me best. But at the time, as soon as I see other people was in profit, and I just had a bad week or something like that, I'm ready to switch it up. I'm ready to look for the next best thing. I'm ready to, move away from this plan because it no longer works for me. It made me end up with a losing week, even though maybe I won 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, let's say I won 5% a week for 3 weeks, right? That's 15%. And this one week, the fourth week of the month, I ended it with a 5% or 10% drawdown, right? So overall, I come up with like 10 or 5% profit for the month, right? I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be furious, right? Because I had all this profit, but then boom, it just went away. Because why? I don't know. My trading plan just stopped working for me for whatever reason, right? Or I start deviating from it at that point while I was trading for that week, right? I start getting drawdown after drawdown, seeing red balances, the negative numbers, as when I look into my history, and that starts playing my psychology. I allow it to affect my mental state, right? And now I start making careless mistakes because I'm looking to recover from those losses, right? Paying higher lot sizes and just hoping price goes in my direction without having a general bias. And this happens to a lot of us, even profitable, experienced traders, right? We do sometimes end up in that situation where we feel like, okay, the market owes us our money back. But the thing is, the market doesn't owe you anything, right? So if you're in that mindset, or if you found yourself to be in that mindset, you need to quickly get rid of that and understand that, okay, we're traders, we're trading with the market, right? The market doesn't care about us. We're nobody to the market, but we're the nobodies that is able to utilize price action, fundamentals, and all these other, technical fundamental analysis, whatever it is that you incorporate in your strategy, where the people able to utilize that and make money from the markets, right? We just need to be smart about it, about how we do it. Stay consistent. Even though if you do have a losing week, not every strategy is 100%. Even the most experienced traders do have losing streaks as well, or they have, times that they end up in drawdown, right? It happens to everybody. Nobody's safe from that. So you need to put yourself in that position where you're comfortable with the amount of drawdown that you do face per trade, right? And just find a strategy that suits you and your trading style, what it is you're comfortable doing, whether it's swing trading, intraday, day trading, or maybe just scalping. You're somebody that's just likes to be quick in and out of the markets, right? It depends on the type of person that you are. But you find something and you be consistent with it, I guarantee you that you would be in a better position than the 92% of traders that do fail, right? And that's the thing. There's a lot of traders out there, but only around 8 to 6% of them are actually profitable consistently, month after month, that do actually see some sort of profit or return from the markets, right? So like I said, trading is something that it isn't impossible to learn, right? Anybody can learn how to trade. But it's not that simple as well. Not just, buying the lows and selling the highs. There's a lot of different things that come into play when you are trading, especially when we're dealing with psychology as well, right? A big part of it has to do with your mentality. So, yeah, that's it for this, guys. Again, consistency breeds profitability, and say that to yourself anytime you feel like you're going to deviate from your trading plan because you just didn't get this one trade that everyone got into. You see them on the Discord community and everybody's winning, everybody's eating, but you're just that unlucky one that wasn't able to eat from that trade. You start feeling a type of way. You start questioning yourself, your ability to trade, and it just affects your mentality, right? You need to not allow it to do that, right? You miss a trade, don't let FOMO come in and you try to get into the next best thing and you up the risk and you just find yourself in significant drawdown, right? It happens. Happened to me once. I'm sure a lot of you could testify to that happening to you as well. So you need to be consistent. Write it down somewhere in a book, or maybe just type it out, copy it, print it, laminate it, and stick it up on your wall. Consistency breeds profitability, right? And keep on saying that to yourself anytime you feel like you're going to deviate from your trading plan, or like you're in a drawdown and you just, you're in a very bad space. Keep saying that to yourself. Consistency breeds profitability. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but over time, you will start to see that profitability if you're just being consistent with what has been working for you, right? And you just keep on doing what you're doing, right? So that's it for this, guys. Again, this is my first time doing something like this. I just want to talk about my trading experience, something that I see a lot of traders, kind of falling short of, right? I've been in this situation before, and I wish somebody told me at that point in time that, all right, the trading strategy that you plan for yourself, it might need a little tweaking, but it's the same thing. And being consistent with it, you'll be able to see that profitability as well. So that's it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. You learned something from it. If you want to hear anything else, leave a comment and maybe we could just speak on it. Look out for the next one soon. Peace.